First-round pick back in 1997, and he comes in tonight with a record of 114 wins versus 90 losses for Kansas City. First to worst. First inning is a terrible pain for Appier. He has almost a 10 earned run average in the first inning. That's third highest in the majors, behind Paul Wilson and Brandon Duckworth. Championship experience, as we mentioned, Anaheim Angels. They were the world champions last year, and he was a big part of that.
Soriano leads off, and Appier deals a breaking ball away. We said this on the pregame. It bears repeating right now. The trouble that Appier had in that game against the Yankees in Anaheim, he seemed to be bat shy, did not want to throw the ball over the plate. This is the wrong team to do that against, because they will take pitches, and Soriano, who's probably the least patient of all, has worked the count to 2-0. The 2-0 pitch, breaking ball outside, 3-0. Yankee baseball is available in Spanish, by the way. If you'd like to hear that, all you have to do is hit the SAP button on your television. We like to call that Network C. The 3-0, right down the middle. 3-1. 83 degrees first pitch temperature here in Kansas City. Another huge crowd is expected. 40,000 the first night, about 38,000 yesterday. More of the same today. The 3-1. Upstairs, and Soriano walks. Let's take a look at the defense behind Kevin Appier. Raul Ibanez, who played first in the first two games, returns to the outfield. He's in left. Aaron Guile in center, and D. Brown over and right. In the infield, Joe Randa at third. Angel Baroa, the shortstop. Mendy Lopez is his first appearance here in this series. He'll play second. And Ken Harvey, same thing over at first. Kenny Mayne behind the plate. Brent Mayne. Kenny Mayne's on ESPN, and Kevin Appier is on the mound. Nice little advertisement for ESPN.
Absolutely. We want to do everything we can.
It was Derek Jeter. Jeter bunts and bunts foul. He was bunting for a base hit there. He's not trying to sacrifice.
Well, we saw Nick Johnson the other night bunting with in the first inning, nobody out, a man on first base. And he did that on his own. You and I were talking about it was very unusual because it's not the style of Joe Torre. That appeared to be a guy like Derek Jeter bunting for a base hit. And the reason you do that, you either bunt it foul or you bunt it perfect.
And the 0-1 inside, 1-1.
Well, when you talk about Appier's fastball, it's only in the mid-80s, 85, 86 miles an hour. We told you about the first inning woes of Appier. Kansas City knows that he doesn't have the same stuff that when they signed him as the #1 pick back in 1987. But he's got experience, and he was with the world champion Angels last year. And the Royals in this pennant race in the Central Division, they have used 13 different starters. And Appier becomes the 27th pitcher used.
They almost had Soriano picked off. He was going, and the throw was not hard enough to Harvey.
The lean, but he gets back just in time. If the throw is a little bit more towards the Soriano side, they're probably going to pick him off at first base.
There's a strike. Home plate umpire Jim Joyce with the call. Dale Scott, the crew chief, is over at first. Jim Reynolds at second, and Laz Diaz is at third. First inning problems for Kevin Appier, 9.15 ERA. Only the Reds' Paul Wilson and Brandon Duckworth of the Phillies have worse trouble in the first. Last time the Yankees faced Appier, Yankees were on the West Coast. Yankees against the Angels, and the Yankees scored 4 runs on 5 hits in the first inning, and Appier could not survive that inning. He lasted just 2/3 of an inning, and the next day he was released. Jeter swings and misses, so 1 away here for the Yankees in the first.
And that's pretty much what you're going to see from Kevin Appier. I mean, when you're a little bit short, and the Royals know, and Appier knows that he's a little bit short with his fastball, he's got to try to get these hitters way out in front, and the swing is something totally out of the strike zone. It's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little nick pick here, nick pick over here. So you got to be as patient as possible from a hitter standpoint. And what the Yankees did to Appier when he was pitching for the Angels is that he was pitching behind in the count and had to come in with that 85-mile-an-hour fastball. But he just didn't have his control. He's got to have impeccable control in order to keep you in a ball game.
Giambi actually made one of the 2 outs against Appier in that game. He struck out in the first inning, and he does not have good numbers against Appier at all lifetime. 3 for 24. There's a strike and a snap throw to first as Soriano gets back.
I had said in our opening, does it make sense for the Royals to pick up Kevin Appier? And I said yes. And one of the reasons for that is that he probably wouldn't be playing for anybody else. He lives here in Kansas City. He has a big farm here, a big home. He loves Kansas City. It's a perfect fit. If the Royals think that they can get something out of him, just a little bit of something, they need pitching bad. They're looking all over baseball along with everybody else for pitching. It's just not there. So you see a guy that has that kind of experience, and he's been here once before. He was a leader. He was their top gun, and they're hoping to get just a little bit out of him to get him through this year and get them to the Central Division win side.
I'll tell you what, though, Bobby, he's costing them nothing because the Angels owe him the $15 million plus. So what they're paying him now is the prorated portion of the major league minimum, $300,000. So they owe him about $100 grand, and they're taking a flyer, see if they can catch lightning in a bottle.
It's $90,000 is what it is that the Kansas City has guaranteed to pay Appier because of that difference, and that's nothing in today's market.
Foul back. That's less than some coaches make. And Appier certainly has the pedigree, that's for sure. He has had some great seasons with Kansas City, 11+ seasons, 114 and 90 with a very good 3.46 ERA. And then he's bounced around the last 5 seasons. Oakland, the Mets, and Anaheim, 98 and 54, still a pretty good winning percentage. Or 98 starts, 54 wins, 45 losses, and his ERA about a full run higher as he's lost something off his fastball. That one is lined deep to right field. D. Brown is right there. He'll put it away for the second out of the inning. And also there has to be a comfort level. As Bobby said, Appier is very comfortable here. And this is where he makes his home. And he does have the pedigree, and it's important for a team that's trying to win the Central that there's a guy in that locker room right now that won a World Series last year. He was with the Angels. The Angels beat the Giants in 7 games.
And he also has another familiar face behind home plate. That's Brent Mayne, who has caught he's made 74 starts. This will be his 75th start catching Kevin Appier. And with Mayne and Appier, Appier's record 36 and 18, so there's a comfort level there too.
And the count 1-0. Bernie is 12 for his last 26 against Appier. Appier used to be so much more nasty when he was at the Royals the first time around. Now you see the career numbers, so Bernie's hit him a lot better of late. He threw so hard, but now he has to really improvise out there, try to get it done, as Bobby said, nibble here, nibble there, and try to get you to bite.
And you can see that nibbling for Bernie, trying to get Bernie to swing at something way out of the strike zone just to tease him a little bit because of the stuff that he can't live in the middle of the strike zone. He's got to live outside it.
Soriano, who led out the game with a walk, remains at first. The pitch is outside 3-0. So Appier knows that Bernie's been hurting him. So does Joe Torre. Let's see if Joe Torre sends the green light by way of Willie Randolph. Hideki Matsui is on deck.
A lot of hitters don't, they don't like to swing 3-0. In fact, if it's not the pitch they want, they won't swing at it.
And he was swinging and he fouled it away.
I mean, it's an option, and when you're in the option portion of that, I think that's the reason Joe held Soriano at first base. No reason to run yourself out of the inning when you have a guy that can swing one time and put you ahead 2-0.
Runner goes, and it's fouled back. So if you go on 3-1, obviously you're going on 3-2 with 2 outs. That's an automatic go. So Soriano will get some running in. And that gives the Yankees an advantage. Anything in the gap, Soriano's going to score with his speed. Good seat for the bird. Yankees are playing the Orioles next. Runner goes, and that one is driven down the left field line, and that is going to be a foul ball. That bird has been on that wire since the game began, has not moved. I think he just likes baseball. Right over there, Bob. Pretty little bird.
Like a royal bird.
Got a great
dove.
seat.
That's a dove.
Is it a dove?
Yes.
Oh, it's very peaceful. Runner goes. Hit sharply to second base. Mendy Lopez is there. And Kevin Appier has made great strides since the last time he faced the Yankees. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. He survives the first. Now the Royals coming to bat. He'll be there to watch.
Purchase any McDonald's Extra Value Meal from July 29th to August 18th and receive a free Yankees player trading card and score the Yankees game card. Prizes include Yankees tickets, a trip to Yankee spring training, 2004 Yankees season tickets, and much more. Visit participating McDonald's for details.
Well, we go to the bottom of the first inning. Jeff Weaver is taking his warm-ups. And here's Tony Pena's Royals lineup that he's going to face. Aaron Guile, the center fielder, will lead off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Angel Baroa. Raul Ibanez will hit third and play left field. The DH, Mike Sweeney, cleans up. Great numbers against Weaver and a lot of animosity there as well, which we will detail when Sweeney comes to the plate. Joe Randa, the third baseman, will hit fifth. Batting sixth and playing right field, D. Brown. Ken Harvey, the first baseman, hit seventh. He's been out the first 2 games of this series with a pulled left pectoral muscle. Brent Mayne, the catcher, will hit eighth. Batting ninth and playing second base, Mendy Lopez.
And it's all about pitching, and Jeff Weaver gets the assignment tonight. He's making his 22nd start for the Yankees. 6-8 record. Balloon 5.44 earned run average. Look at those innings hits per innings pitched, way out of proportion there. And he's given up 10 home runs. Let's take a look at the scouting report brought to you by the Bank of America. An enigma, yes. What kind of pitcher will Weaver be tonight? I mean, he wins 1, he loses 1, he loses 2, he wins 1, wins 2. So you never know who's going to show up there. But Joe Torre and Mel Stottlemyre, they are very confident, still confident in Weaver despite his struggles so far. When he warms up to the bullpen, they say he has as good a stuff as anybody in baseball, almost too good to be able to catch down there. But does he bring it to the mound? We'll have to wait and see.
Aaron Guile will know first. He's leading off. And there's a strike. Incidentally, that scout for the Orioles that was hanging out on that wire.
Yeah.
Left between innings.
He saw enough.
There's an empty seat. There's that breaking ball. And the count 1-1. If you missed the pregame show, oh, we got another seat. No, that's him leaving. There's a line drive. So he missed that base hit by Aaron Guile to start off the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the defense for the Yankees. Matsui, Williams, and Kareem Garcia left to right in the outfield. In the infield, Aaron Boone, Derek Jeter, Alfonso Soriano, and Nick Johnson at first. Posada behind the plate, and Weaver is on the mound. Now, as I was mentioning, if you missed the pregame show, Susan Waldman gave you the information about David Wells. He took the MRI, and all the Yankees are saying is that he will miss Saturday's start in Baltimore and is expected to make his next start after that, so he will not go on the DL. He did receive an epidural today, but they did not make any mention of what exactly was wrong with the back, just that he's going to miss his next start, and he will start after that in his next scheduled turn in the rotation. And starting for the Yankees Saturday in Baltimore will be Sterling Hitchcock. Now, significant for Weaver in that as long as David Wells is out, Jeff Weaver then ascends to the number 4 spot in the rotation, and he becomes a lot more important for the Yankees.
Even though Sterling Hitchcock will start in place of David Wells in his scheduled start. But you got to look at Weaver if there is some problems with Wells that will prolong him beyond that one start that he's going to miss, and how prominent Weaver will figure into this rotation.
Let's say you just take it further. If it goes into the playoffs this way, the number 5 starter is the guy who always goes into the bullpen or is left off the postseason roster. The number 4 starter gets a start, so he becomes very important. Guile gets back.
You know, you take a look at Jeff Weaver, and he's the 5th starter for this ball club. I mean, there's a lot of 5th starters that everybody would like to have that has the kind of stuff that Jeff Weaver has.
Runner goes, and the ball is fouled off.
Yeah, that was the hit and run. So sometimes I think you inflate those numbers because you equate those to, you know, a guy like Andy Pettit or Mike Messina, who pitched last night, and a Roger Clemens. It's just not going to happen right now. If you take a look at the breakdown for Jeff Weaver month by month, and you can see the inconsistency that he has had.
And his best ERA month was July, but he only threw 7 2/3 innings, a 4.10 ERA. That is looped into short left field, a base hit for Angel Baroa. Guile will make the turn. He'll go to third. Matsui gets the ball into second. So the Royals are set up successive singles to open up the first inning. First and third, and nobody out.
Well, just a great piece of hitting by Angel Baroa, and you can see why they love this kid. That was a good pitch by Weaver. It was the kind of pitch that you can get a ground ball, and he just kind of throws the bat at it, and it finds a hole over the head of Derek Jeter. Nothing you can do about that. But these types of things, these types of situations, those types of hits have always bothered Jeff Weaver, and that's been one of the problems, that he can't let it just go by the wayside and pick it up with the Ibanez.
And Weaver with a snap throw to first, and it's important for him to do that because the middle of this Royals order is dangerous. Not home run dangerous, but certainly dangerous enough to drive in runs, and you've got to redirect and focus yourself to Ibanez and not worry about that blue pit. You know, Weaver doesn't help himself, but if you watch all of his starts, it's uncanny about how if something can go wrong, it will go wrong then. And Joe Torre made a great comment a couple of weeks ago. He said, we play baseball behind Jeff Weaver like we hate his guts. It just seems like if they can make an error, they're going to make it behind Weaver. And that's obviously not the case. They don't hate his guts, but sometimes the pitcher has a short end of the stick one year where he doesn't get the runs, he doesn't get the support in the field. And again, he doesn't help himself either, simply because sometimes he lets everything affect him and he kind of unravels out there.
And such as a pitch like that there, that what borderline could have been called a strike.
Well, he's working himself into trouble here in the bottom of the first inning. Runners on the corners, nobody out, and Ibanez has worked the count to 2-1.
During batting practice for the Kansas City Royals this afternoon, and they do this a lot, simulating what Jeff Weaver is going to be featuring. Ibanez hit every ball to the left side of the infield, left side of second base. That was. He never pulled one pitch to the right side. But you figure Weaver with that sinker is going to be from the middle plate away.
And the 2-1. There's a good pitch by Weaver. The fastball right on the inside corner. Nothing Ibanez could do in the count 2-2.
Maybe one of his best pitches that he features this year, because he starts it inside the left hand. You can see the movement as it moves back over the inside corner of home plate. That freezes the hitter. They're constantly looking outside because of the sinker that goes down and away.
2-2, way inside, backhanded by Posada. 3-2 now. Tony Pena has a little bit of a decision. I think we know what he's going to do, though. He probably sends Baroa on a 3-2 pitch. Aaron Guile will stay put. Third base coach John Miserock tells him so. Runner goes, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Ibanez thinks he walked. They're going to check with the third base ump. Oh, and he said no, he did not swing. And from up here, even without the benefit of the replay, it looked like Ibanez took a big, healthy cut, let alone just check the swing. And let's see how Weaver's going to handle that emotionally.
Well, it even looked like Jim Joyce had raised his right hand to indicate that Ibanez went too far.
Well, Joe and Don Zimmer can't believe it. You watch this. He swung.
Now look at Joyce. See?
Oh.
I thought he was going to raise his left hand I was talking about.
If he would have hit that, Bobby, it would have been a line drive.
Yeah. He did go too far. You can see Weaver immediately pointing to Laz Diaz at third base. Now, Joe Torre has a right to go out there and ask him about on whether he went too far or not. Or maybe he was asking, did you indicate to Laz Diaz? Did you ask him?
You could read Joe's lips. He said, I'm not arguing the call.
Yeah.
He obviously was arguing how the call was made.
Yeah.
It's just semantics, but he's showing Laz Diaz he did not like the call. And again, just from a totally objective standpoint, that was like a terrible, terrible call. Let's take one more look at this swing or non-swing.
Certainly have seen less than that call to strike. And the umpire is up with one hand down, one hand up. You can see immediately Weaver thought he went too far, so he wants Diaz to get involved.
Now Jim Joyce, the home plate umpires, were talking with Mel Stottlemyre on the top step of the Yankee dugout. Don Zimmer was also fired up. Now, I don't know if anybody was thrown out. I didn't see any indication, but you could tell when the call was made, the dugout exploded. They were so upset with that call. And Zimmer is still barking.
Joe was indicating to Jim Joyce, okay, go ahead, you've had your say, get out of here. You know, you don't need to be in my face. Here in the dugout. The play is over with, and now Weaver, you know, he's kind of jawing or asking or talking to Posada. I don't know if he's talking to Jim Joyce or not, but that's going to bring out Mel Stottlemyre to try to settle him down.
And also, the batter that he has to face, Mike Sweeney, he has a lot of history against. Here's one more look, and this is what Laz Diaz saw from third base. And my goodness, he really did swing.
Yeah, he went away. He went too far. I mean, we've seen way less than that there that is called a swing.
And that was right after the call, and you can see Stottlemyre and Zimmer are all fired up. Well, now Weaver has to face Sweeney. Sweeney and Weaver precipitated a huge brawl between the Tigers and the Royals. Supposedly Weaver cursed at Sweeney. He says he didn't. Sweeney came charging the mound and fired the helmet at Weaver, and it was a really ugly brawl. And both of these guys say they have not forgiven the other guy, and they're both pretty angry at the other guy. Pitch is inside. It'll be very interesting to see if Weaver can keep his emotions under control right now.
Well, a couple of things have happened to him. Obviously, that Angel Baroa base hit. I mean, he made the pitch that he wanted to make on him, and he still got a base hit over Jeter's head. And in that check swing.
Line drive, base hit to right center field. Guile will score. Angel Baroa is coming home. Here's the throw. It's cut off by Nick Johnson. It's a two-run single for Mike Sweeney, and the Royals lead 2-0.
A guy that they have really missed in the middle of this offensive order, and that's Mike Sweeney. He is their run producer. Sweeney with that big hit into right field, plating a couple runs here. They have missed him for 45 games. He's just gotten back off the disabled list here the last 2 days.
Here's Joe Randa, and he pushes a bunt toward first base. Nick Johnson will field, and he will tag out Randa as the Kansas City Royals move up a base, so it's second and third with one out. I don't quite get that, Bobby. I know they bunt a lot, but you have a pitcher on the ropes. Why would you give him an out?
Well, I think that they want to get a runner at third base with less than 2 outs. They want to a base hit here will score another couple of runs. I mean, Kevin Appier, he's subject to giving up a lot of runs, so they want to try to get as many as they can. And maybe Randa's doesn't feel comfortable. Everybody on this ball club for Kansas City, Tony Pena, makes them bunt. I mean, they have to know how to bunt.
Here's D. Brown. And there's a high fly ball to center field. That should get in a run. Tagging is Ibanez. Bernie makes the catch. Ibanez comes. Here's the throw. Cut off by Jeter, and the relay is not in time. It gets away from Posada, and Sweeney heads to third. And Weaver's return throw to Boone was knocked down. Nice play by Boone, saving a run. Boy, does that tell you something, Bobby, about the arms in the Yankee outfield? A shallow fly ball, and Bernie had to hit the cutoff man, and Jeter had a better shot to get him with the cutoff throw.
I actually think he was throwing it in to home plate, and it was just a little bit too low, and it was right at Jeter, so he decided to cut it off knowing that there wasn't a whole lot on it, and thought maybe he had a better chance of throwing the runner out. Not a strong throw by Bernie.
Well, it's 3-0 Royals. Here's Ken Harvey with a runner on third and 2 outs. Breaking ball is swung on and missed, 0-1. And they are going to give an error to Jeter on the throw, which got away from Posada, allowing Sweeney to move to third. This is not an inning the Yankees are going to put in a time capsule. And Weaver has a legitimate beef with third base umpire Laz Diaz, who made a bad call on the Ibanez check swing. Squib foul. You can see Weaver's jaw is clenched tightly. He is fired up. Strike 3 right down the middle. Harvey down looking. So Weaver ends the inning after giving up 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. We played 1. It's 3-0 Royals.
SWAT is the #1 movie in America.
Why'd you pick me?
Take off the captain.
Ebert and Rober give it 2 thumbs up.
Who are you?
Who the hell are you? Guess you're not the prettiest one here anymore.
Samuel L. Jackson.
You're either SWAT or you're not.
Colin Farrell.
This is what I'm trained for.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Nervous?
If I were, I wouldn't tell you.
And LL Cool J.
Here's where watching the world's most exciting police chases pays off.
SWAT. Rated PG-13. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Well, the Royals lead the Yankees 3-0 in the rubber game of this 3-game set. And if you look at your scorecard, nobody really hit the ball very hard except for Mike Sweeney. And that was the 2-run single. The single by Guile, not hit that hard. Single by Baroa, he reached out and tapped it over the shortstop's head. Ibanez walked on what was really a strikeout. Then a sac bunt and a sac fly. But the way Jeff Weaver's year is going, those little things add up to a 3-0 deficit.
But on the long end of that, it's over with. You know, and the Yankees are behind 3-0. It's early in the game, and Kevin Appier is a guy that can give up a lot of runs.
Here's Matsui. Appier threw 21 pitches in the first inning, 11 strikes. And that pitch is outside.
I mean, you look at it this way, you can give up 3 runs in the 4th inning or the 5th inning, and you could be leading 3-0, end up with a tie game. Those 3 runs came in the bottom of the 1st and under some unusual circumstances. So you have to just settle down and put zeros on the board from that point on and hope your ball club can catch up.
And a 3-0 deficit for this Yankee offense is certainly not insurmountable. But Kevin Appier, the same sort of pitcher that he was in Anaheim. He is working the corners. He wants the Yankees to get themselves out, and they are not prone to do that. Count 3-1.
And you're going to see a lot of these counts all night long as Appier is in there because of the lack of control. You can see in his first start for Kansas City, after being back at his uniform, what he did. And even on a 3-1 pitch, I mean, that pitch is right on the corner.
And the 3-2. Grounded to first. Harvey is there. One away. When the Angels let go of Appier the day after he lasted just 2/3 of an inning against the Yankees, Appier's agent said in the paper, that's the most expensive case of elbow tendonitis I've ever seen. So he blames a lot of what Appier is going through, maybe how short he is on the fastball and the fact that his elbow was bothering him. Not that long ago, less than a month ago, he didn't go on the DL. He sat out a while before he signed up with the Royals. He had to pass 10 days through waivers, but he's still not throwing very hard.
Well, July the 31st was when Appier was released from the Angels.
Posada has a 5-game hitting streak. He's really raking during that time. Now he has a 6-game hitting streak with a bullet pass to diving Mendy Lopez. A 1-out single here in the second.
And Posada hot from both sides of the plate. I mean, he is nailing that ball from the right side as he is from the left side.
He likes hitting here in Kansas City, Bobby. He's 32 for 80 lifetime at Kaufman Stadium. That's pretty good. Here's Nick Johnson. Nick is heating up. His average creeping closer to 300 at 298, 8 homers and 30 runs batted in. And the pitch is outside, 1-0. Among active pitchers, Kevin Appier is 9th in wins with 168. Has a very good ERA lifetime, 3.72. That's 14th. 13th in complete games and 11th with 12 shutouts. But those numbers are a bit skewed because Kevin Appier was a much better pitcher when he was younger, a much different pitcher, and a lot of those numbers were compiled then, not now.
Well, obviously the velocity on his fastball was a lot better, and that's what you throw all your other pitches off of is your fastball. You establish that fastball with the velocity, and then you use all the other stuff, you know, the off-speed stuff, such as the one that he threw to Johnson there, and a little bit of a breaking ball here and a little bit of a breaking ball there, and now he's more of a finesse pitcher. He's more or less like a power pitcher back in those days.
You could see just the way he pitches. He is so bat shy right now. He does not trust his stuff in the zone. A 3-0. There's a strike. That's the fastball he has, 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, and you know, from a hitter standpoint, I mean, you can make some adjustments off of Appier too. I mean, you may want to just move up in front of the plate just a little bit more, and maybe even crowd the plate a little bit more if you feel comfortable doing that, because he doesn't have enough really to get inside on you, and he's not going to throw anything inside anyway, unless he just misses.
So Johnson has worked the count full at 3-2. It's always dangerous to run Posada on a 3-2 because you're looking at a strike him out, throw him out, double play. If you run Posada, you are demanding that Nick Johnson make contact.
Well, Johnson's got such a great eye at home plate. I would be surprised if Posada. I think Posada will probably be going, even though the Yankees are down 3-0. I could be wrong, but he's got a great eye at home plate.
There he goes. Grounded foul.
He's a contact hitter, so Joe knows that. And the percentages are to send Posada and stay out of the double play.
Runner goes. The 3-2 is lofted to left field and deep. Backing up Ibanez, still back. Makes the play on the run right in front of the track for the second out of the inning as Posada heads back. Nice piece of hitting by Nick Johnson, but Ibanez ran it down.
And that's Johnson's strengths too. You can see where the pitch is. That's 3-2, and I mean that is borderline from being a ball or a strike. But when you got 2 strikes on you, you gotta protect that strike zone. And he sent Ibanez a long ways into left field.
And also, when you know Posada is going, you can't afford to risk taking it for a walk. So he had to cover that plate. Here's Aaron Boone. Combined numbers with the Yankees and the Reds on the screen right now. Boone got a base hit yesterday, and he was standing on first base. He had the broadest smile on his face.
Well, he was getting a lot of ribbing, you know, from his teammates, from his new teammates about getting that base hit. And he took it in stride. He knows that he is struggling. And as he put it to me today, you know, he said, this is not my first rodeo. I've been around baseball for a long time. My family has been around baseball a long time. These things happen. You have to be patient. And Joe visiting with him during batting practice, they were talking about the fact that, you know, he's jumping out at the ball. He's not letting the ball come to him. He's got a lot of movement in his swing, a lot more movement than he normally would have. So consequently, a lot of times when you do that from a hitter standpoint, your head moves a lot and you don't see the pitch that good.
Boone said, I get into extended slumps, but I also get into extended hot streaks. He said, so I'm looking forward to one of those. The 2-1, and there's a base hit for Boone up the middle. So maybe this is the beginning of one of those hot streaks as Posada stops at second. The throw comes into Baroa.
Kind of where you have to think from a hitter standpoint on where you want to hit the ball, up the middle. That'll keep you back a little bit longer. You can see that Boone waited as long as he could. And if you're way out in front, like Joe was talking to him about, if you're lunging out in front, a lot of times you're so far out in front you have to roll the wrist over and you hit a little ground ball to the left side.
Here's Kareem Garcia with a rare start. David DeLucci has pretty much come forward as the starting right fielder, but David is in an extended slump himself, so Joe Torre is giving Garcia a little bit of a run. Garcia with the Yankees is 19 for 61. And the pitch is upstairs.
I think you'll probably see that on and off all year long. And Joe has done this before with a hot hand. You know, he'll go as long as he can with a hot hand. And when that cools off, he'll get somebody else in there.
Flaherty, Zeal, and DeLucci watching the action. Left to right. The 1-0. High fly ball to right center field. Aaron Guile. Wynn takes it, and he'll make the play for the final out of the second inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the second inning here in Kansas City. It's 3-0 Royals, and you are watching Yes. The New York Yankees, the world's most successful sports franchise, are celebrating their historic 100th anniversary in 2003. It's a long-time Yankee tradition. On Tuesday, August 19th, Cap Night, the first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Power Your Way. Come out to Yankee Stadium and join in the celebration of 100 years of greatness.
Hey fans, tomorrow night on Yes, it's movies and more when Academy Award winner Kevin Costner joins Michael Kay on an all-new center stage. From his sports films like Bull Durham to his own sporting life, it's an hour of conversation with one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Center Stage with Kevin Costner. It premieres tomorrow night at 10:30, and it's right here on Yes. Now tell me, Michael, I know that was a pleasure for you doing Center Stage with Kevin Costner. Do you have like a welcome book that you have all these big stars sign?
They actually, the producers have a book that they have the stars sign, and we're going to auction it off for charity. So we've done about 30 some odd shows, and everybody has signed it, and they're going to auction it for charity somewhere in the future.
That's a wonderful idea. How about you personally? Do you?
No, I never did. I wish
Really?
I would have started. I wish I would have started, and I didn't.
I'll give you mine tonight, okay?
Thank you.
Start now.
Well, you signed the book when you did Center
But
Stage.
not one personally for you.
Well, you
I
once,
thought it was
you
for
once signed a bat for me, so that's all I need.
Okay, babe.
The 0-1 to Brent Mayne is a line drive base hit to center field. A leadoff single here in the second.
Posada sitting outside. And the fastball up in the strike zone. Weaver likes to concentrate on the knees as a leveling point and let the ball sink and go away from that point. That one got up a little bit too high.
Here's Mendy Lopez. He missed 53 games with a right calf sprain, came back yesterday. And because Lopez was put back on the roster, Carlos Febles, a 5-year veteran of the Royals, was designated for assignment, which is a nice way of saying that he was released. They have 10 days to try and trade him or have somebody claim him. And if not, he has a choice of going down to the minor leagues or being released. And the sad part is that Allard Baird, the GM, loved Febles so much, and GMs can't get emotionally involved with players. Some of them do. That when he was talking to the media about it following yesterday's game, his eyes welled up. He said, "This guy's such a good guy, but he's had a deterioration of skills."
Yeah, I think Baird kind of took a personal issue there simply because he is the guy that scouted him and eventually signed him out of the Dominican Republic. And it was very difficult to call him in and have to tell him that he was being designated for assignment. And as you mentioned, Michael, that's just like saying you're being released from this organization.
Lopez swings and misses, 1 away.
Well, that set the fastball up a little bit better because of the breaking balls that he had been featuring. And then he runs that fastball. Look at the movement on the fastball. Tremendous movement, and ties Mendy Lopez up inside.
Back to the top of the lineup, and Weaver faces Aaron Guile. And there's a strike. Bottom of the second, Royals lead 3-0. The Royals come into this game with a half-game lead over the White Sox. Yankees a 4-game lead over the Red Sox in the East.
You know, would it be better for Posada just to set up in the middle of the plate instead of moving outside, because the natural movement of the ball, if he's sitting up here in the middle, it will move this way in the first place. If you're sitting up outside and the ball moves, it sometimes moves out of the strike zone.
Well, we've heard that a lot, Bobby, that if Weaver, who has such good movement on his fastball, just threw the ball down the middle, he would have better results.
Yeah, you figure if the ball is being thrown down the middle, which this is the middle, it's naturally going to move this direction and down. And if you're sitting out here and it moves, well, it kind of moves out of the strike zone, and it's too far.
A little bit low.
Wow. It's a pretty good pitch right here, and it's a darn good pitch with 2 strikes on you. And Aaron Guile with a pretty good eye there. I think he thought, Jeff Weaver thought that could have been called a strike.
Mayne hustles back. Grounded foul outside of first.
Main thing is just compose yourself, give your team a chance, your offense, but you have a high-powered offense behind you to get back into this game. That good movement on the inside part of the plate, and Guile fights it off. I mean, you don't figure that Appier is going to be in the game probably past 5 innings if he makes it that far. I mean, past history tells you that the Yankees have hit him pretty good and have scored a whole lot of runs off of him. They'd love to get in the KC Royal bullpen.
High fly ball to center field. Bernie. 2 down. Mayne retreats. Here's Angel Baroa, single to left center. That was in the first inning. Took a breaking ball, reached down, and almost like a tennis serve, put it over the head of Derek Jeter for a single. Baroa is trying to become the second Royal in history, second Royal rookie to hit over 300 in his rookie season. The other one was Kevin Seitzer, or the only one. Baroa is at 292. Lofted to left center field, converging Matsui and Bernie Williams. Williams there, and then Williams makes the play for the final out of the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We've played 2, Royals 3, and the Yankees nothing. You're watching the Yankees on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network.
On the Yes Network center stage, Oscar winner Kevin Costner.
I love to act, but there's a purity about sports. You either picked or you're not picked.
Center stage, Kevin Costner. Premieres tomorrow at 10:30.
Only on Yes.
Kansas City is famous for its barbecue, none more famous than Arthur Bryant's, and they put together quite a spread. And you'll take a look at some of this, and it's just amazing. And they flock to this place. It's a couple of blocks from where the old Kansas City A's used to play and where the Royals first started play. But yeah, they don't hold anything back here. And just to top it off, you got to have a couple of fries. And you know what's great about Arthur Bryant, Bobby, is in the corner of the place, there's a cardiologist on duty, which is really nice.
That's a heart attack waiting to happen.
Wow. Wow. Here's Soriano as he leads off the top of the third. 3-0 Royals. Had to have those fries just in case there wasn't enough grease. And the pitch to Soriano is inside.
And you hate barbecue.
I do not like barbecue.
No, you don't.
Now, I like barbecued hamburgers, but not barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
You like barbecue?
I love it.
Ground ball, shortstop. Backhanded by Baroa. The long throw in the dirt, scooped up on the backhand by Harvey. 1 away.
Well, they talked about this young man, Angel Baroa, at shortstop. They talked all day about his fielding and about his arm, how strong it is, how soft the hands are. It was how much was he going to be able to hit at short. And he showed some of that talent here by throwing Soriano out. Deep in the hole at shortstop with the backhand, sets himself. And with a strong throw, a nice pickup by Harvey. There's 1 gone.
Here's Derek Jeter. The one thing they like, well, one of the things they like about Baroa here with the Royals is that he plays with an unbridled joy. He just seems like he's elated to be on the field. And really, if you're a baseball player, what a life. And if you happen to be really good and you're young and you know you have a tremendous future ahead of you, why shouldn't you be happy all the time at the ballpark?
And he's got Father Tony as his manager. Now, when I say that, both of them from the Dominican Republic, and Baroa just loves Tony Pena. And Pena loves Baroa, and they've worked together. And Pena has said all this young man needed to reach his potential is just a little love, a little competition, and just somebody just to show him how to play baseball. And that's what Pena's doing.
Well, the Royals got him from the Oakland Athletics in the deal that sent Johnny Damon to the A's. Beat up glove. He's gotten it broken in just the way he likes. A little bit of a blue U to it. And in that deal, they also got, the Oakland A's did, Mark Ellis. And Mark Ellis is now their everyday second baseman. But the Royals were not going to make that deal for Damon unless they got back Baroa. The 3-1. There's a strike. Breaking ball on the outside corner, 3-2.
Well, the last pitch was way inside, and it almost hit Jeter, and then he went away and painted the outside corner.
The 3-2 fouled away. You know that 3-1 pitch, I said breaking ball from up here. That was just a fastball with some tail to it.
A 2-seam fastball with movement inside on a right-hander.
Appier is known as being extremely peculiar, not on the mound, but off the mound. And they actually call it Planet Appier when you talk with him. The things he says and how he interacts with people. That one is hit deep to left field. Going back, Ibanez. He's got room, and he puts it away for the second out of the inning. Hey, Yankee fans, Yankees.com shop has the best selection of Yankees gear, including caps, pullovers, and lots more. Visit Yankees.com and shop online tonight at the official site of the New York Yankees. One of the things that Appier does, he's extremely superstitious. I think they might have gotten that at Yankees.com. And when he was here the first time, he would only use one of the shower heads in the shower. And he would wait until people were done because he could not shower at another shower head. He's also been known, Bobby, from what I've heard, to take 4, 5, 6 showers during the game. He's like a clean freak. Scrubs himself, wants to make sure he's clean.
You mean while he's pitching, he'll take those showers?
Sometimes he does, yes.
Better get a long inning.
And he's also the type of guy, from what we hear, that he washes his hands maybe 30, 40 times a day.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, everybody likes to be clean, and your hands can pick up a lot of bacteria.
The 2-0. You saw the pitch count there, and the strikes and balls are very even, which is not a good ratio.
We've seen some other players that have been extremely superstitious. One played for the Yankees, Wade Boggs. I mean, Wade would not go out of the field before batting practice until the clock struck a certain time. And obviously ate chicken every day.
Popped up left side. Randa is there. And a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Appier. Off to the showers, but this time in a good way. We've played 2.5 here in Kansas City. It's 3-0 Royals.
Commemorate a century of baseball excellence with 100 Years, the official retrospective of the New York Yankees. From Murderer's Row of 1927 to the modern dynasties, here is an inimitable portrait of America's team. Just $50 at Yankee Stadium or by calling 1-800-GO-YANKS. Also available at leading retailers nationwide.
Come out to Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 23rd. It's Ron Guidry Day at Yankee Stadium. Be sure to arrive early as ceremonies begin at 2:30. Celebrate the career of Louisiana Lightning as all fans in attendance are going to receive a number 49 pin courtesy of Chase. For tickets, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops. Call Ticketmaster at 212-307-1212 or log on to Yankees.com. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Royals 3 and the Yankees nothing. A lot of Yankee fans live in this area, and a lot of Yankee fans have actually made the trip to see this series as Ibanez fouls one back. Ran into a couple of Yankee fans at the plaza around the hotel, and a couple of them just said, hey, we've never seen this ballpark, and we thought this would be a nice place to come to. There's a strike. This ballpark is over 30 years old, but it really does, and this is not hyperbole, it feels and looks as if it opened yesterday. It's brand new the way they keep it. There's a ground ball to short. Jeter across the diamond, one away.
Well, you were talking about the old ballpark. We were talking about barbecue just a minute ago, but it had a lot of uniqueness to it, too. I'm talking about when Mickey Mantle and all those guys used to play for the Yankees and played over at the old Kansas City ballpark. Remember Charlie O. Finley, on the Kansas City A's that time. He used in right field there. He had sheep grazing up in the grass in right field. There's water out here at Kaufman Stadium. He also had a shepherd out there. He had a donkey. I mean, he had a lot of things going on.
Sweeney takes a strike on the outside corner. Now, was it a ballpark that played big or small?
Oh, it was big in center and left center field. I mean, it was about as big as any ballpark, but in right field, shallow.
And the count 0-2.
I'm going to say it was like, you know, down the left field line, maybe even a little bit left center, 465.
Wow.
I mean, it was big.
Yankee Stadium big.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I'm just, my memory doesn't serve me well these days, but that's what comes to mind.
Hot shot to short. Jeter with a tough hop stays with it. 2 away. Weaver's retired 5 in a row.
This is what you want to see out of Jeff Weaver. I mean, the last inning, yes, the leadoff single to Mayne, and then he got a strikeout and 2 flyouts. You don't want to see Weaver getting too many outs in the air. You want to see him get his outs on the ground.
Here's Joe Randa. And there's a strike. His fastball has such movement on it, and you can see Posada sets his target up, and the thing moves where it wants to move. And that is his strength. It's not a weakness that he has so much movement. Great ratio on the pitch count. 30 strikes, 12 out of the zone. And there's another strike, 1-2.
Well, I mean, he's been pounding in on the hands of Joe Randa, and he's got him a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Pretty much set up for a breaking ball. Posada put down the one inside again, and I think he wants to throw the breaking ball. Well, that was a fastball that he tried to run on the outside part of the plate, but you figure that 3 pitches inside, you want to go outside for 1 and try to paint.
Two, missed inside, 3-2. Weaver deals. Ground ball to third. A tough hop for Boone. That's going to be an E5. Second error by the Yankees. One a throwing error by Jeter, and there Boone booted that ground ball.
Weaver made the pitch that he wanted. He got the ground ball, and just a little bit of a wicked hop there, and off the heel of the glove of Boone. So the inning stays alive with a man on at first base. He had the glove down, the ball came up, and just couldn't get the leather on it.
There's D. Brown, and the pitch is inside. Little tidbit we found out before the game, this D. Brown gets his hair cut in Florida, the same place that the basketball D. Brown gets his hair cut. Just thought we'd tell people that.
And he's also from the Bronx in New York.
Yes, he is. And from what we hear, his family watching these games on Yes. Real name is Dermal, D-E-R-M-A-L, shortened to D, of course, D-E-E.
A little bit more pressure has been put on D. Brown simply because of Beltran's injury and Michael Tucker.
And he responds to that pressure with a line drive single down the right field line. Randa will go to third. D. Brown stops at first as the throw comes into second. And the Royals have runners on the corners and 2 outs for Ken Harvey. And nobody's rooting for Weaver to get out of this more than Aaron Boone.
Brown responding to that pressure simply because he has been thrust into a role on an almost everyday basis because of Tucker and Beltran. And he brings in a potent left-handed bat.
Here's Ken Harvey. Swing and a miss. Harvey got his chance this year with the extended injury to Mike Sweeney and really has made the most of it. He's a big, strong guy. And he has 9 home runs and 51 runs batted in.
He pulled that pectoral muscle on the left side swinging. And you see how strong he is, and sometimes you make those swings and you miss, and being that strong, you'll tear a muscle or strain a muscle.
Royals have the best average with runners in scoring position in the American League. That's a 306, slightly ahead, percentage points ahead of the Mariners, also at 306. Runner goes from first. No throw is made, so that'll be a stolen base for D. Brown. Pitch was taken outside.
Yankees deciding to go ahead and let him steal second base and not risk a throw down there. What would be maybe a double steal with Randa at third.
1-2. He struck him out. A breaking ball diving down and away. So Weaver gets out of a jam that he had nothing to do with. It should have been a 1-2-3 inning for him. And you know that Aaron Boone is thrilled with the strikeout of Harvey. Yeah, I'm out of it. No runs, a hit, 1 error, 2 men left. We go to the 4th, 3-0 Royals.
Biography, the legend of Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry.
I've never seen a pitcher dominate one season the way he did in '78. Thurman wouldn't even put a sign down. He would just go.
Yankeeography, Ron Guidry, premieres Tuesday at 10:30, only on Yes.
We go to the top of the 4th inning. The Yankees are trailing 3-0. Royals pushed across 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning against Jeff Weaver, who's pitched much better since then. Kevin Appier has allowed 2 Yankee hits. He doesn't ever make it look easy, but he did retire the side in order in the 3rd. His second start with the Royals after being released by the Anaheim Angels following a game where he lasted only 2/3 of an inning against the Yankees in a start. And Weaver, or should I say Appier, now has the distinction of having the largest contract eaten by a team. Before that, Damian Easley held that distinction. I think the Tigers ate maybe 12.275 or 12.75 million. But Appier close to 16 million. There's a high drive to right center field. D. Brown is there, and he'll put it away for the first out of the inning. Let's take a look at the Aflac trivia question here in the top of the 4th inning. In 1990, Kevin Appier became the 4th Kansas City pitcher to win American League Rookie Pitcher of the Year. Who are the other 3? I would assume Saberhagen won it. I'd say Mark Gubiza.
Split off.
And split off. Let's go with that. We'll find out in the bottom of the inning. There's Matsui. And there's a strike.
You were talking about all that money that Appier is due from the Anaheim Angels, almost $16 million. You might say, well, what in the heck does he want to pitch? I mean, why does he want to put the uniform on? He's going to get paid anyway. Well, it's that competitiveness that these players have, and he's home. He's been with Kansas City. He was their #1 pick back in 1987, and so you can't give it up when you still think that you can pitch. And obviously Kansas City thinks that he can do enough to help them win this Central Division. So it's a good fit for both bodies.
If you think about what the Anaheim Angels did, they traded a somewhat onerous contract, the contract of Mo Vaughn, to the Mets, and the Mets traded the contract and the body of Kevin Appier to the Angels, and probably that's one of the rare deals that hurts both teams. Pitch is way inside. Mo Vaughn's not playing for the Mets this year, and they're hoping to collect insurance on the final year of his deal. And if anything, the Mets might have made out better, especially if Vaughn doesn't play again, because they will get the majority of that money back from an insurance claim. But the Anaheim Angels have to pay Appier next year, no matter whether he pitches, retires, or pitches anywhere else. They have to pay the money. 2-2. Driven deep to center field. Going back is Guile. He does a 360, finally hauls it in for the second out of the 4th inning.
A little bit of wind blowing in from right field, almost affecting the flight of this baseball. Matsui a little bit out in front. You can see how he's having to stretch to reach that outside pitch, and of course Appier is taking a little bit off of it, so not able to drive it like he normally would if he was totally balanced mechanically. Guile turned all the way around and caught up with it.
Here's Posada, red hot, single to right in the 2nd. He's 7 for his last 11 and 12 for his last 22. Swings and misses. That was a changeup. Last night he was 4 for 5. Picked up a home run, his 20th of the year. 4th straight season with 20 or more home runs, and in the month of August, hot. 353, a home run, and 8 runs batted in.
You're supposed to get hot in August because August is a month of high temperatures.
It's never been a great month for Jorge because he wears down. They catch him so much. But I think that the effectiveness of John Flaherty has allowed the Yankees to catch Flaherty a little bit more. And Posada is a bit fresher this time around. Short fly ball to center field. Coming on is Guile. He's there, and he'll put it away. 2 straight 1-2-3 innings for Kevin Appier. He's retired 7 in a row, and they finally retire Jorge Posada. Yankees go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Royals 3 and the Yankees nothing.
Thank you, fans, once again for making the Yes Network by a wide margin the #1 regional sports network in the tri-state area from sign-on to sign-off. For the Yankees, Nets, and Manchester United, plus center stage, Yankeeography, and more, the Yes Network is your home of champions.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Let's take a look at the Aflac trivia question answer. In '90, Kevin Appier became the 4th Kansas City pitcher to win American League Rookie Pitcher of the Year. Who were the other 3? What did we think? Gubaza, Saberhagen, and Splitoff. That was our guess. And the answer is 0 for 3. Goodness. Steve Busby, Rich Gale, and Tom Flash Gordon.
Boy.
They're awful.
Busby, a former broadcaster for the Kansas City Royals after his playing days were over with, too.
And the Royals do their television games. Their booth is the Steve Busby suite, and we actually do our games in the Amos Otis suite. And the pitch to Brent Mayne is a strike. Line drive down the right field line. That is a base hit for Mayne. Playing it in the corner is Kareem Garcia, and Mayne is on second with a leadoff double. Mayne came into this game 0 for his last 18. He's 2 for 2.
And he's 2 for 2 tonight, and he took that inside fastball and showed some quickness with the hands in the bat. You can see that right on the inside part of the plate. When the hitter sees a ball on the inside part of the plate, automatically it quickens your bat. Getting a lot of direction at first base on where to go.
Let's see if they bent with Lopez, and they will. Bunt it toward first. And Nick Johnson makes the out at first with the throw to Soriano. So the sacrifice successful, 3-4.
Fundamental baseball, and Tony Pena, a guy with like Lopez, he knows that he's one of their best bunters on this ball club. In fact, everybody knows how to bunt. That's a priority with Tony Pena. You have to know how to perform some of the fundamentals of baseball. They move a man to third base with less than 2 outs. We showed you how they hit with runners in scoring position. So he's taking his chances on the percentages. That's been in their favor all year long.
Infield is in for the leadoff hitter Aaron Gall. The pitch is outside.
You know, you can leave it up to the hitter, you know, to try to hit the ball the right side, get the guy over, get you a pitch and get him over, hit the ball right side. But percentages are better to say that if you're going to bunt him over, you might, if you want to get him over, you just bunt him over with one of your best bunters.
There's a strike. Royals lead 3-0, looking for another run. Just trying to piece it together, trying to win their first series at home against the Yankees since September of 1993. It's been 10 years. And their first series against the Yankees overall since '99. Just missed Guile, and the count 2-1. Mayne does not have great speed at third. Guile swings and misses, and the count 2-2.
One of the better breaking balls that we've seen Weaver throw tonight. That had a lot of action to it, a lot of down action.
Two, hit him. That one got away from Weaver, and Guile had no chance to get out of the way. Crowd booing, but certainly that's not Weaver's intent with 2 strikes.
Now he's trying to ride that fastball on the inside part of the plate. Gets away from him. You can see where Jorge was setting up, and catches him right on the right side of the right calf. He's got a shin guard on the right ankle, on the right shin, but that's for batting purposes. That's not to protect him from being hit by a pitch.
Here's Angel Baroa. 1 for 2, scored a run in the first inning. So the Royals have runners on the corners and 1 out. You would hope that as he becomes a bigger star in the big leagues, Angel Baroa will take that unsightly thing out of his cheek where kids are watching, but he insists on chewing the tobacco.
I'm hoping that's gum. Is it tobacco?
It's tobacco.
Is it?
Yeah. you know, kids want to copy players. And when I was growing up and Sparky Lyle had that big tobacco, I would chew ice, you know, the Italian ice cups. I'd put that in my mouth. But, you know, kids are going to emulate their heroes. Burrow with 58 RBIs, third amongst rookies in the American League. Hideki Matsui leads at 84. Baldelli is second. And there's a strike.
All you have to do is take a look on the side of the pack or the can if you're thinking about dealing in tobacco. It'll pretty much tell you the story.
Absolutely. The 0-1. Dribbled slowly. Baroa did not think it was a base hit. The run scores and Baroa's on first base. Baroa thought that it hit off him. He thought it was a foul ball, but then started to hustle down the line. So he gets an RBI single. The Royals have a 4-0 lead. That was very odd the way he didn't run, Bobby.
It was odd the way he didn't run. It was odd the way that Weaver and Posada didn't really react to it. You can see the ball hit down and missed him right at home plate. The runner is running on contact at third, so here he comes. Posada, and you can see Baroa, he's looking around thinking that the ball was fouled in the first place. Boom. Weaver, Posada charging out there, thinking that they want to make a play. Then
Ibanez hits one deep to left. Matsui back. He makes the play. Both runners have to retreat, and they will get there as Ibanez lines into the second out of the inning.
Well, we mentioned earlier that there are a lot of weird things always happen when Jeff Weaver's out on the mound, and we've already seen our fair share of them tonight.
Well, we've had a full moon the last couple of nights. Jeff Weaver seems like he always pitches under a full moon. Here's Mike Sweeney. And the breaking ball is a strike. He has a pretty effective breaking ball tonight. I don't think you could blame his problems tonight on the breaking ball. He's keeping it low, and it has a sharp break out of the strike zone or whispering on the outside corner.
You got to give a little bit of credit to the Kansas City Royal hitters. I mean, they have battled some tough pitches and come up with big base hits. They hit well with runners in scoring position. They get a guy at second base with nobody out. They get him over to third with less than 2 outs, and they have been successful in driving that runner in every time.
Count 2-1. First and second, 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. Way outside, 3-1, pitching carefully to Sweeney with Randa on deck.
Back in the year 2000, Mike Sweeney became the fastest Royal player ever to reach 100 RBIs. He hit 340 for Kansas City last year, almost won a batting title, and he is an RBI machine.
3-1, good pitch, fastball on the outside corner, 3-2. That releases the runners now. Guile will go from second. Baroa is from first with 2 outs and a 3-2 count.
That nerve irritation in the neck and also the back that kept him out 45 games for Kansas City came on a weird swing at home plate.
Way outside, so the bases are loaded as Sweeney walks. He tried to get him to offer the breaking ball, but Sweeney would have none of it.
Take another look at that Baroa swinging bunt, which also produced a run. Down in the dirt. Now you got to think that maybe Baroa thought it hit him. Maybe glanced him coming up, but the ball had some weird spin. There goes Baroa down to first base.
Randa takes a pitch upstairs. The crowd is getting into it as Jose Lima is on the top step of the dugout exhorting them on. And Mel Stoudemire goes out and talks with Weaver. Lima's on the DL, but not as a cheerleader. He has a pulled groin, but he is eccentric, to say the least.
Well, they didn't have a whole lot to cheer about last night as Mike Messina shut him down and shut him out. It was all New York. They're seeing some excitement tonight because Kansas City leads it 4-0 and threatening for more.
Lima incidentally threw a BP session today, see if he was ready. Kind of a simulated game sort of thing. And Tony Pena and pitching coach John Cumberland both sang the national anthem just so they could approximate the beginning of a ball game. Outside 2-0. Really getting himself into trouble because now Randa has worked himself into a hitter's count. Giles on third, Baroa at second, and Sweeney is at first. 2 men out, bases loaded, 1 run in. Royals lead 4-0. Hit sharply to short. Jeter backhands, goes to second, and they just get the force on Sweeney for the final out of the inning. So Weaver works out of further trouble. And that quiets Lima down just a bit. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. We go to the 5th inning here in KC. 4-0 Royals.
I'm Fred Hickman, the studio update brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. Albert Pujols, what a player, taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates top of the 6th, continues his run for the Triple Crown, extends his hitting streak to 27 games, his 34th homer, but Pittsburgh winning the game 5-4 in the top of the 9th.
Well, thank you, Fred. Here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's the Royals 4 and the Yankees nothing. Jeff Weaver is on the losing side of a 4-0 score, but Bobby, if you're watching the game pitch by pitch, he's not doing a bad job, and we're not making excuses for him because a lot of his lack of success is his fault. But today, everything that could go wrong against him has gone wrong against him.
Yeah, he's not getting the right bounces, sometimes not getting what he thinks would be the right call from the umpire. You know, a miscue here. But the Royals are doing a good job, and Kevin Appier has allowed only 2 hits to the Yankees tonight.
There's Nick Johnson. And the first pitch is a strike, and the longer Appier goes, the more confidence he gets. And in his first start with the Royals, he went 5 innings in a game that the Royals lost 4-0 to Tampa Bay. He got the loss in that game.
John Cumberland, Tony Pena, they are absolutely ecstatic that Appier is pitching here in the 5th inning, and they have a 4-0 lead, and he's only given up 2 hits.
Both of those hits in the 2nd inning. He's walked 1 batter. Grounded to first. Harvey backs up and flips to Appier. 1 away.
Well, Sunday afternoon, the Staten Island Yankees returned to Yes when they battled the Marlins single-A affiliate Jamestown Jammers. Join Bob, Papa, and me as we call all the action. That's live from Richmond County Bank Ballpark. The Jamestown Jammers versus the Staten Island Yankees. That's Sunday afternoon starting at 5 o'clock, and it's right here on Yes. What a beautiful ballpark that is, too. Richmond County Bank. A lot of fun doing those minor league games. A lot of enthusiasm. And it's the future of the Yankees.
Some Yankee lineage there. Andre Randolph, the son of Yankee third base coach and former second baseman Willie Randolph, is one of the second basemen with the Staten Island Yankees. Boone pops it up down the left field line. No one is going to get there, although giving it a look is Ibanez. It actually makes the seats.
Andy Stankiewicz, former Yankee, also the manager there for Staten Island. There's Willie. And he keeps close tabs on Andre, along with Dave Island, the pitching coach.
Heard that one of the Yankees' rare off days last homestand, Willie and his wife Gretchen went to the ballpark to watch the Staten Island Yankees. That must be a thrill for them. The 0-2. Low 1-2.
Well, sister Chantre Randolph is always there to support her brother. Chantre works for the network, the Yes Network.
Pretty much runs the place.
I think so. If not so, she should.
She is a sharp girl.
Chantre is just a lovely person, along with Ashley Fugazi there in that front office.
Grounded to third. Randa's there. 2 away. Let's take a look at what Appier's done so far. He's lasted 4 2/3 innings, which is 4 innings more than he lasted last time he faced the Yankees when he was wearing an Angel uniform. 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. He's not been overpowering by any stretch of the imagination, but he has certainly been effective. Here's Kareem Garcia. Appier has retired 9 in a row. Upstairs, 1-0.
It kind of goes to show you that Kevin Appier is doing more of his pitching now with his head than his arm, as compared to when he signed with the Royals many years ago. They used his arm and not so much his head, but over the years he has learned a lot about pitching, and you don't have to throw it hard in order to get these big league hitters out. As long as you place it in the right spot and you change speeds and keep them guessing and keep them off balance.
4-0 Royals lead. We're in the top of the 5th inning. And the 2-0. Loop to shallow left field, coming on Ibanez. He's there and he makes the play. The 3rd straight 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Appier. He has retired 10 Yankees in a row. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. Royals 4, Yankees nothing. You're watching the Yankees on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network. The New York Yankees, the world's most successful sports franchise, are celebrating their historic 100th anniversary in 2003. On Friday, August 22nd, the first 18,000 fans 21 and over will receive a 100th anniversary Yankees travel mug courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts. Come out to Yankee Stadium and join in the celebration of 100 years of greatness. Returning this Friday night on Yes, it's a television event 100 years in the making. The Yes Network proudly presents The History of the Yankees. Part of the Emmy Award-winning series, Yankeeography, this 6-part special event chronicles 100 years of New York Yankees baseball. From Murderers Row to today's Bronx Bombers, it's the definitive story of the New York Yankees. The History of the Yankees, Part 1, Moments and Mystique. It returns this Friday night at 10:30 right here on Yes. Bottom of the 5th inning, KC 4, Yankees nothing. And the first pitch is rocketed down the right field line. Here's a start out the 5th inning. And they will hold it right there. D. Brown starts off with a double.
A lot of doubles in this 3-game series so far. In the first game, there were 19 doubles total, 11 by the Kansas City Royals, and 8 by the Yankees in that first game that the Yankees lost. And wasting no time, Brown sends one down the right field line for a leadoff double. So here come Kansas City again.
Let's see if they have. Can Harvey bunt? They're not shy about sacrificing. Harvey doesn't look like a guy who would bunt, but Pena makes them all bunt. And he ran the hands up and took a pitch outside. Ball gets away from Posada, but Brown stays put at second.
Nobody is above being able to bunt on this ball club. That's one of the things that they have stressed since Tony Pena came over here, because the little things help you win ball games. I mean, Harvey is known as a, he's known as a power guy. Just take a look at him. You wouldn't think that is one of his expertise is being able to bunt.
And he bunts right back to Weaver. Weaver's going to go to third. Not in time. The force was not on, so Boone had to get the tag down, but Brown got a great jump. So the sacrifice is successful, and Harvey reaches on the fielder's choice.
Throw was a little bit high, and it took Boone that much time to try to put the tag down. You can see it's not a great bunt, but it gets the job done. And the throw up. If the throw is down, they get him. The throw is eye high, and by the time Boone gets the tag down, it's too late.
You know, Bobby, the throw beat him. Usually the throw beats you, you get the call, but Laz Diaz would have none of it. That was bang bang, and usually you do get that call. but it looked like he got his hands in before the tag was applied to the top of the helmet. Here's Brent Mayne. Pitches outside. Mayne is 2 for 2.
This 25-man roster, they have so much confidence in Tony Pena. If he tells them to jump, they want to know how high. So that's whatever he wants them to do, that's what they do, and they do it with a lot of confidence. And every game that they win, they've already won more games than they won of all last year. They're in this race in the Central Division. And the more games they win, the more confidence it builds.
To a man, I mean to a man, the Kansas City Royals give 95% of the credit of their success to Tony Pena. Usually that's overblown. It's a media-driven thing, but the players actually say he is the one that has instilled in us the confidence that we can win, and we can win the division. The 2-1. One pitch away from loading the bases. No action yet in the Yankee bullpen. First and third, nobody out. 3-1 pitch on its way to Brent Mayne. That's driven into left center field. Bernie Williams giving chase. No chance. It's over his head and up against the wall. D. Brown scores. Here comes Ken Harvey. He will score. It's a 2-run double for Brent Mayne, and the Royals now lead 6-0.
You see that sign everywhere. We believe, and Brent Mayne believes that this is going to be a gapper. A 3-1 pitch. See the runner at third goes and tags, but and the big guy Harvey comes on home to score all the way from first base.
And Mel Stottlemyre goes out and talks with Weaver. Now the Yankees have a little bit of a problem here, because technically they don't have a long relief man. Sterling Hitchcock is going to start in place of David Wells. So Brett Prinz gets up to warm for the Yankees. He appeared in the Monday game in the 8th inning. But Wells, who had an MRI today, is going to miss the Saturday start, but he's going to make his next start after that. So they're not putting him on the DL, which means they're working a pitcher short. Mendy Lopez thinks about bunting. He doesn't, and the throw to second is not in time.
I mean, they lead 6-0, and they are sticking with their plan. Another runner down at second base. Nobody out. Lopez, his last time up, successfully bunted the runner over to third with less than 2 outs.
And he bunts toward first and foul. It is amazing, Bobby, at 6-0, but they are not going to deviate from their game plan.
Why deviate? It's working. Lopez actually should be butting the ball toward third base to make Aaron Boone feel that ball. You can see the line on Jeff Weaver now. 9 hits, 4 innings pitched, and he's given up 6 runs. Still nobody out.
They let him swing away. Hits a fly ball to right field. Coming on is Garcia. He dives and he makes the play. Nice play by Kareem Garcia, saving a base hit.
And Lopez almost dunked one in out in right field. During the first game, we talked about all those doubles. A lot of these balls fell in, just out of the reach of a defensive player for the Yankees, but Garcia makes a nice play on that one.
Here's Aaron Guile, still a runner at second base. Royals up 6-0, bottom of the 5th. And there's a strike. Fouled away, and the count is 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Inside, 1-2. Guile tonight 1 for 2, hit by a pitch and scored a run. The one a single to right field leading off the first. Strike 3 inside corner. Guile down looking. 2 away.
That's the pitch that he wanted to throw Guile the last time when he had him set up for it. He hit him on the right calf. Posada moves inside, and that moving fastball on the inside part of the plate. That's where you want that hitter to be backing away when the pitch is coming in.
Here's Angel Baroa. Now back to the screen, 0-1.
Baroa, 24 years old. They found out about a year ago that he was a couple of years older than what they anticipated, or what they were told. So they started checking the visas a little more carefully. And
shattered back, right back to Weaver. Fires to first. That's a nice play by the Yankee pitcher for the final out of the inning. But the Royals score 2 more runs on 2 hits. No errors, and 1 man left. 5 full here in KC. Royals 6 and the Yankees nothing on yes.
Guests, lots of good calls and some dynamics, Mike, between you and me.
I'm still trying to figure out what makes the show work after 14 years.
Mike and the Mad Dog, tomorrow at 1, right here on Yes.
If we haven't figured out what makes it work by now, you know what? We're doing a pretty good imitation.
Now, there's a decided difference between these two teams, the way they go about the business. The Yankees are a little bit more businesslike, and even the way they do the high five. This is how the Royals celebrate. That's Jose Lima. Now, the Yankees are a little bit more subdued. And a hug. Youth.
yeah, Lima is on the disabled list because of a strained groin, but he is very close to coming off of that disabled list. He is 7-0. What a surprise that they have had in Jose Lima, and he could be pitching in New York next week.
Well, he's due to come off the DL on Sunday, and there's a chance he could start the Monday game against the Yankees at the stadium when the Yankees come back from Baltimore. After this game, the Yankees head to Baltimore for a 4-game set against the O's. The 0-1 to Soriano. High fly ball, center field. Aaron Guile, 1 away. First 2 games, Royals pitchers have retired the side in order 3 times. Tonight, Kevin Appier has done it the last 3 innings. Yankees have been able or unable to do anything against Appier. Just 2 hits, both of them in the 2nd inning. And this is a pitcher that they racked around just a couple of weeks ago in Anaheim.
He's retired 11 in a row.
Here's Derek Jeter. Jeter's 0 for 2 against Appier. Well, this has to feel pretty good for Appier, coming home, pitching in front of family and friends, and he's on the verge of getting a win against the mighty Yankees. But there's still some time to go as Jeter lines the 3rd base hit of the night for the Yankees into left center field. So Aaron Guile fields and gets the ball into Baroa. 1-out single for Jeter. Well, we talked about that Orioles series that's coming up. And obviously you could see it on Yes tomorrow. Pregame show is at 6:30. Game time 7 o'clock. Yankees against the Orioles at Camden Yards. Ken Singleton and I will call all the action. So the starting pitchers in that one, Andy Pettitte for the Yankees and Damian Moss goes for the Orioles. Here's Giambi. Giambi really hits very well here in Kansas City, Bobby, and I asked him why. And he had a pretty good answer, but an interesting one. He said, the outfield is so big here, I feel as if I have so many places where I could get a hit. I like the background. There's all that green out there. He said, in other ballparks like Camden Yards, everything is so tight together. He said, I don't think I can get a hit unless I hit a home run. And you could see why and how that manifests itself in 43 games, 378, 14 homers, and 43 runs batted in. And he said, I loved playing here when I was at the A's, and I love playing here now at the Yankees. He said, this is just a great ballpark to hit. Even though it's not a bigger outfield than others, it gives the perception of being that.
So it builds the confidence up in the hitter that when he goes up there, that he's going to come up with something that that's going to be positive. He's hit in 35 consecutive games here at Kaufman Stadium. And the one thing that's unusual about the defense for Kansas City is they don't play him to pull like everybody else does. I mean, he's almost being played straight away.
Now the dimensions here at Kaufman Stadium, they shortened it a couple of years ago. 400 to center, 375 into the gaps, 330 down the line. That's not huge, but again, it's the perception that it's big. He said there's a lot of green out there. He said it's a fair ballpark, and I feel there are a lot of places out there where it can pick up a hit.
Very nice batter's eye, too, which you get a good look at the pitch. Nothing to distract you.
I did ask him when he was with the A's and his first year with the Yankees, he did not hit well at Yankee Stadium. And the majority of his home runs this year are on the road as well. I said, Yankee Stadium's big. And he said, you know what, though? He said, it's big here. He said, but in right field, you don't feel like you have any room at all. He said, so it feels a little compact. He said, I think that's always been a problem for me there. One, two. He said he also likes to hit in Colorado for the same reason. He said because the outfield just seems gigantic.
Now, see, I would be just the opposite. I would love to have a field in right field that felt like it was compact to me, you know, because that would make me think it was shorter out there.
See the difference, 24 home runs on the road, 10 at Yankee Stadium. So that is a big disparity. And you would think that Yankee Stadium would be great for a guy like Jason Giambi, but he has not capitalized power-wise there. Swing and a miss, and Giambi down on strikes, 2 away.
The scoreboard recorded that pitch at 86 miles an hour, but it's got some two-seam movement to it that goes away from Jason Giambi's bat. You know, you throw all that junk up there, the slow and the slower and the slowest, and then you feature the 86-mile-an-hour fastball, and it just looks 10 miles faster to you.
Here's Bernie Williams, 0 for 2 against Appier. Ground ball to first. Boxed there by Harvey. He steps on the bag, and that'll do it. So another shutout inning for Kevin Appier. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning at Kaufman Stadium. It's the Royals 6 and the Yankees nothing right here on Yes. The New York Yankees, the world's most successful sports franchise, are celebrating their historic 100th anniversary in 2003. On Wednesday, August 20th, the first 10,000 girls in attendance will receive an American Girl doll-size Yankees jacket and cap. Also, the first 10,000 boys in attendance will receive a souvenir batting helmet courtesy of Photoball. Come out to Yankee Stadium and join in the celebration of 100 years of greatness. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Raul Ibanez leads off against Jeff Weaver. Everybody at the ballpark watching the kiss cam up on the scoreboard, and that is a nightly feature here. It seems to enrapture the crowd. Yankees have been enraptured by the stuff of Kevin Appier, just 3 hits and no runs. And Weaver deals to Ibanez a strike.
Ibanez responding. He has been really, up until this year, basically a designated hitter, not playing much of the field, but Tony Pena's got him out there playing almost on an everyday basis, playing the outfield, first base sometimes, very versatile, and he has responded with that everyday action.
1-1. Line drive to center field, a base hit. Bernie Williams gets the ball in. So a leadoff single here in the 6th inning for Ibanez.
A lot of leadoff hits for Kansas City tonight. They did it in the 1st inning. They did it in the 2nd inning. They did it in the 3rd inning, the 4th inning, and now here in the 5th inning, and now here in the 6th inning.
Here's Mike Sweeney, a big 2-run single in the 1st. Grounded to short and then walked. Popped up. Foul territory, first base side. Nick Johnson, 1 away. Royals 6 and the Yankees nothing. Along with Bobby Murcer, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball on the Yes Network on this Wednesday evening. We thank you for joining us and spending part of your day with us. Royals lead the Yankees 6-0 in the rubber game in this 3-game set. Yankees won yesterday 6-0. They lost on Monday 12-9. So Kevin Appier pitching a 3-hit shutout through 6. Pitch to Randa is a strike.
Well, there is a possibility. I know the Kansas City Royals are still looking to maybe add a bat and possibly a pitcher if they can. Juan Gonzalez is a distinct possibility if he ever comes off the disabled list for the Texas Rangers, then get their contract worked out.
There must be something in the water in Texas, Bobby, because Rafael Palmeiro turned down a deal to the Cubs, and initially Juan Gonzalez turned down the deal here to Kansas City. They're still trying to convince him while he's on the DL. Now, you could trade somebody when they're on the DL because, look, the Yankees acquired Gabe White from the Reds. But as of this point, Juan Gonzalez is still resisting the overtures from the Royals. Allard Baird in the maroon shirt is certainly trying to get him here. That could be the type of deal that could push them over the top in the American League Central.
And it could do more with restructuring the contract with what is due Juan Gonzalez, more so than just making the trade. I mean, Gonzalez has a lot of ties here in Kansas City, especially with Tony Pena. I mean, very close with Tony Pena. Carlos Beltran, the superstar on this young ball club, he's almost like a brother to Juan Gonzalez. So I think it's more of the structuring of the contract. If they get that done, I think you'll see Juan Gonzalez here.
Randa swings and misses, 2 away. I think what Gonzalez wants, he has a lot of deferred money in the deal that he signed with the Rangers, and you'll see this pitch move away from Randa for strike 3, and he has said, if you want me to go, I want that money now. Now, the Texas Rangers are going to pick up most of the salary because the Royals are going to send them a good prospect for Gonzalez, but I don't think Tom Hicks of the Rangers wants to make that deferred money into present day money. And the pitch to D. Brown is a strike.
And that's where you have your tug of war. You know, you got Juan Gonzalez that can move here to Kansas City and get right in, you know, in a pennant race and be with some guys that he dearly loves and loves to be around. But the money is always the issue. How much is Juan Gonzalez? And we're speculating, we don't know, but I'm just saying by what I've heard around this Kansas City Royal organization, that if they get that contract restructured in the proper way, you may see Gonzalez here.
Squibbed out to short. Derek Jeter fields. Soriano gets there to receive the throw and the force for the final out of the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We played 6 full here at Kaufman Stadium. Royals 6 and the Yankees nothing.
Yankees baseball on Yes. Tomorrow, the Bombers hit Baltimore as Jason and the Yanks kick off a 4-game set against Jeff Conine and the Orioles. Join Fred Hickman for complete pregame coverage tomorrow beginning at 6:30, only on Yes.
We go to the 7th inning. Royals lead the Yankees 6-0. Kevin Appier took his warm-ups, and all of a sudden, Tony Pena comes out of the dugout, and he's joined by home plate umpire Jim Joyce, which would lead you to believe that this is an injury visit. And he's going to take Appier out of the game. Don't know what could have been wrong, but obviously something is.
I got to believe that Pena knows beforehand that Appier was hurting in some area there, probably his arm or whatever, and he may have said, go out and take some warm-up toss and see how you are, and give me a sign or an indication on how you feel. And it didn't go that well, so now they'll have all the time in the world to warm up the next guy out of the bullpen. And Appier will leave, and he's given them 6 strong innings.
Well, Tony Pena makes the singular call to the bullpen. Singular, the wireless company that fits you best. So the Royals are going to go to Jeremy Affeldt, the left-hander. And Affeldt will have as long as he needs to warm up, as the Yankees will come up in the 7th. They'll face Matsui, and the Yankees face a 6-0 deficit. Rookie Jeremy Affeldt is the new pitcher for the Royals, and he deals to Matsui. And the pitch is a strike. Now, Affeldt did not have an unlimited time to warm up. You see his numbers there. That's starting and relieving. So it would lead you to believe that Pena simply lifted Appier after he warmed up to get him the hand from the hometown crowd. And Appier certainly tipped his cap, because Affeldt was throwing out in the bullpen. So maybe that was just a theatrical maneuver by Pena.
Could have been, and more likely that than the injury, because of Affeldt not taking as much time as he needed to warm up. He was already ready to go. So Tony Pena using a little bit of that psychology that is used with all of his players, and why not? I mean, Appier did a great job.
Line drive to left field, a base hit for Matsui against Affeldt. Hey, we want to take this time to thank you fans once again for making the Yes Network, by a wide margin, the #1 regional sports network in the tri-state area from sign-on to sign-off. For the Yankees, the Nets, and Manchester United, plus Center Stage, Yankeeography, and more, the Yes Network is your home of champions, and everybody that works at the Yes Network, thanks you from the bottom of our heart. This is only our 2nd year, and the response that we've had has been absolutely amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Here's Jorge Posada, and the pitch is a strike.
Well, the story behind Jeremy Affeldt, he has made 18 starts for the Royals this year. He was in the starting rotation, but he has ongoing troubles developing a blister on his pitching hand. So they have made the decision that he is better used out of the bullpen, and more likely not to end up on the disabled list or miss a start or two because of the blisters that he develops during his starting assignments when he has to throw a lot of pitches. So they get more work out of him out of the bullpen. He's got a live arm, got a good fastball, he's got a good curveball, and a good changeup.
1-1. Fouled away, out of play.
It's strictly because of the blister problem. They had to move him to the bullpen, and now the starting rotation.
This is Pena when he came out to talk to Appier, and we thought it was an injury thing because he brings out the umpire with him. But I really do believe it was Pena just trying. That you see Appier laughing, wouldn't be laughing if he was hurt, and then he gets a huge ovation walking off the mound. Time is called as Posada gets something in his eye.
I did not see Affeldt warming up in the bullpen before that. Affeldt, the #3 pick back in 1997 out of high school. Another one of those tall left-handers, 6'4", about 200 pounds.
1-2 to Posada. He struck him out. High heat, 95 miles an hour. Boy, that's a change from Appier.
Yeah, Appier was topping out around 85 or 86 with his fastball. One of the hottest hitters, if not the hottest hitter on the Yankees, couldn't catch up with that one.
Now, Affeldt wants to start, and Tony Pena says that Affeldt's future is as a starter. But Pena and Allard Baird, the GM of the Royals, they cannot afford to have him go on the disabled list for 2 reasons. And Bobby just said it. If he starts and goes on the disabled list, then they're down a starter. And they need him out of the bullpen because they only have 2 lefties out of the bullpen. The other one is a situational lefty, Graham Lloyd. They know that if he pitches 1 or 2 innings, the blister will not raise on the pitching hand. So next year, they'll try to get through the blister problems, work through it, have them toughen up the ends of the fingers. Other pitchers have gone through it, Nolan Ryan and Al Leiter. But right now, they don't want to risk it, and they think he's too valuable in the bullpen, so that's where he'll work.
And it finally ended on July the 23rd. That was his last start against the Minnesota Twins, in which he went 5 innings and gave up only 3 hits, but he had to leave after 5 innings because of the blister.
A lot of man hours that the Royals have missed because of injuries, and that's what makes their stay at the top of the Central Division all the more amazing. I mean, big-time injuries to Sweeney and Mendy Lopez and Carlos Beltran. Pitch a little bit low. I mean, you add up those games, and there's a lot of people that have missed a lot of big games. Michael Tucker's out for the remainder of the year with a broken leg. Joe Randa, their starting third baseman, 16 games. D. Brown, so valuable to them, 46. Kyle Snyder, one of their young pitchers, 16. Affeldt, 13. And Jose Lima, when it's all over, will be about 14 or 15. 1-2. Breaking ball, strike 3. Johnson down looking.
Talked about the breaking ball from the young left-hander, and that's a dandy right there. Up and then down, and a perfect pitch on the outside part of the plate and low.
Royals lead 6-0. Here's Aaron Boone with 2 outs and 1 on. Runner on first. Line down the right field line. Fair ball. It's trouble. That ball is a fair ball. And the Yankees get a tough break. It bounces into the seats. No, they call it a foul ball.
Aaron Boone thought it was fair, and I think Lee Mazzelli thought it was fair.
I thought he was waving first that the ball bounced into the seats, but he's saying that it was a foul ball. That first base umpire Dale Scott and Joe Torre will go out and have a talk, because if Mazzilli's arguing, he thought it was fair. You decide.
Yeah, Dale Scott looking at it right on the line. I mean, this was close, and from our angle it looked like it was fair. Boone thought it was fair. And that shot right there appears that the ball hit on the chalk line.
And unfortunately hit on the chalk line where it's rubberized, so it's not really chalk, it's paint. From that shot, it did look like it was fair.
Yeah.
Boone thought it was fair. Look at his reaction. He can't believe that it was called foul.
He stuck his right hand out like, you know, that should be a fair ball.
Count 1-1.
Talk about blisters. I mean, this is nothing that's new to pitchers. There are a lot of pitchers that have developed those blisters and continue to have problems with them. They use, you know, several things. You know, the pickle brine, they've always talked about soaking your fingers, tips of your fingers in pickle brine. Using a jar with some rice in it, you know, and continue to work your hand through the rice. And you have all kinds of different methods on trying to strengthen that, but it hasn't worked with Affeldt yet.
And the 1-2. 96-mile-an-hour fastball way upstairs, and the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first base. Royals lead 6-0. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Matsui led off the inning with a single to left field, but Posada struck out and Johnson struck out. Bounced that one, and the count now full of 3-2. That releases Matsui at first.
It's the pressure, you know, that pitchers use to throw their different pitches, and a lot of the pitchers will use the seams of the baseball, and then when they snap that off, that's when you get the friction that moves up against that skin on the fingertips and what causes blisters.
And the 3-2, a long fly ball to left field, but foul.
Well, you gear up on a 3-2 pitch, and if the guy's throwing it around 95 miles an hour, you want to make sure you have plenty of bat speed. You're just out in front a little bit.
Three-two pitch. Fouled it off again. That was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Not a bad weapon for the Royals to take out of their bullpen. And you can see why they want him working in relief. If they can't have him as a starter, he could really prosper in this role. 3-2. Grounded to third. Randa across the diamond, and that'll do it here in the seventh. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. At the end of 6.5. Get up and stretch. It's the Royals 6 and the Yankees nothing. You're watching Yankees baseball on the Yes Network.
The studio update brought to you by your Tri-State Quality Ford store, and there's a lot to talk about tonight. First off, at Shea Stadium. Look who is back. Mike Piazza taking on the Giants, making a statement in his first game since May the 16th. Going deep to left off Jerome Williams to make it 3-1 in favor of the Mets. Now 9-2 in the top of the ninth. Red Sox and Oakland underway, and Miguel Tejada, the reigning MVP, driving in the first run of the game off Derek Rowe. It's now 1-0 in the bottom of the first. More in the postgame. Now back to Michael and Bobby.
Well, thank you, Fred. And obviously the Red Sox, and we said this at the beginning of the show, they are not taking advantage of the Yankees stubbing their toe just a little bit. You see the Yankees are losing 6-0 here, but the Red Sox lost game 1 against the Oakland A's 4-0. Pedro Martinez pitched for the Red Sox. Then yesterday with John Burkett on the mound, they lost 5-3. And today it's Derek Lowe against Mark Mulder, and that's also not a great matchup for the Red Sox as well. So the Red Sox in a very tough stretch. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Weaver's still on, and Ken Harvey fouls it back. Weaver sucking it up and taking one for the team right here because he's closing in on 110 pitches. He's got 105 right now, and he's just saving the bullpen and also getting in some work, which is what he needs. He needs to get that arm slot down. He needs to feel confident, and he has not pitched as badly as the score would indicate.
Well, the Yankees only down 6 runs. I mean, this game is far from being over with. The Yankees with a potent offense as they throw Harvey out for the first out here in the 7th inning. So anything can happen, obviously, and the Yankees can score. They can score quick.
Let's take a look at the in-game box score for the Royals, sponsored by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. A lot of hits in that lineup. Gala hit. Baroa 2 for 4, a ribby and a run scored. Ibanez 1 for 3, also a run scored. Sweeney, that big 2-run single in the first inning, 1 for 3, 2 runs batted in. Randa and Harvey and Lopez have not joined the party, but D. Brown 2 for 3, a ribby and a run scored. And Brent Mayne, what a job he's had. 3 for 3, 2 runs batted in and a run scored. So they will remember Brent Mayne. Fouled away. Mayne singled in the 2nd, doubled and scored in the 4th, and then had 2 RBIs on a double in the 5th. He came into this game hitless in his last 18 at bats. The 0-1. Way inside. As Mayne jackknifes out of the way.
I think you see a lot of similarities to what happened to the Anaheim Angels last year when they started getting some production.
Could he go 4 for 4? He is 4 for 4. Matsui plays it on the short hop, so Brent Mayne's had some night.
Start getting production out of people that you really don't expect to have those types of years, and a lot of unknowns on this Kansas City ball club. A lot of unknowns last year on the Anaheim Angels too, especially in their pitching staff. And you'll just see Brent Mayne here, who came in and was fighting that huge slump in this game here, but he's broken out in a hurry. He's 4 for 4.
And there's a strike.
If you can bunt, you can also hit and run.
Lopez ground ball single up the middle. Mayne stops at second. Bernie Williams gets the ball into Jeter. Successive singles here in the 7th inning with 1 out. First and second. And Brent Prinz begins to throw in the bullpen again. He was warming up in the 5th. Mel Stoudemire wants to get a read. First they send Posada out to stall. Weaver averages 104 pitches per start. He's had a high this year of 122, and he's at 112 tonight.
I'm sure once Posada gets back to home plate, that might even bring out Mel Stoudemire just to, or even maybe Joe Torre. Brent Prinz has been up before, so it won't take him that long to get ready.
So now Weaver faces Aaron Guile. Missed inside. Up the middle and through for a base hit. Brent Mayne rounds third. He'll score. Lopez stops at second as Williams flips the ball into Soriano. It's an RBI single for Aaron Guile, and the Royals lead is now 7-0.
The Royals, they put the ball in play, and when you put the ball in play, anything can happen. Just out of the reach of Jeff Weaver, just out of the reach of Derek Jeter at shortstop. Another base hit and another run scored. That's going to be all for Weaver.
So Joe Torre will take the ball, and Weaver struggled. He leaves down 7-0. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Brent Prinz will come on to try to wiggle out of further trouble. Royals 7, Yankees 0 right here on Yes. Well, Joe Torre has to make the singular call to the bullpen. Singular, the wireless company that fits you best. Jeff Weaver, another tough outing. The numbers are not pretty for Weaver. 6 1/3 innings, 13 hits, 7 runs. The 2 runners are also his responsibility. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. So the Yankees needed another good pitching outing after a great one by Messina yesterday. Weaver didn't give it to him, so now they turn to Brent Prinz. And you see Prinz's numbers.
And Prinz also came over in that Dave DeLucci trade from Arizona. And because of Osuna being on bereavement leave, he will take his spot.
Baroa 2 for 4. First and second with 1 out. Outside. Prinz came on Monday. And that was in relief of Jesse Orozco. And he promptly served up a 2-run double to Mike Sweeney. 3 hits in 2/3 of an inning. Along with Bobby Murcer, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball on the Yes Network. We thank you for that on this Wednesday night. If you're a Yankee fan, you can't be too thrilled right now. Royals leading 7-0, threatening for more here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First and second, 1 out. Jeff Weaver started and was ineffective. Kevin Appier started, and it was a completely different pitcher than the Yankees knocked out of Anaheim a couple of weeks ago. Prinz has gone 3-0 on Baroa. There's a strike by Prinz in the count. 3-1. Prinz has a live arm. And high marks from Buck Showalter, formerly with the Diamondbacks, when the Yankees made the deal, sending Mondesi over to Arizona for DeLucci and Prinz, and also a minor league catcher. Showalter said Prinz is a good arm. And that arm is up and away, and the base is loaded as Baroa walks.
In the short time that Prinz was with Columbus after that trade, he struck out 7 in 4 relief appearances. That was 4 in the 3rd inning. So that live arm was alive down in Columbus with a lot of strikeouts, and he'll need a strikeout here or a ground ball.
Raul Ibanez. Pitch a little bit low. Yankees are playing shortstop and second baseman halfway. Same thing with Nick Johnson at first. The only one really close is Boone. They're looking for the double play. 7-0 Royals. Prinz works out of the stretch and the pitch. Foul back.
Well, you're late in the ball game, and one of those slow rollers, you want to be able to maybe throw that runner or force that runner at home plate, but the Yankees want to play for the double play and get the 2 outs and get out of the inning without having to give up any more.
Prinz upset with himself. You could see waving his arm in disgust after that delivery.
I think it's more or less he was reminding himself to go ahead and finish the pitch off. He just halfway got that pitch thrown to home plate.
Count 2-2. You can see the live arm they're talking about, Bobby. 94 miles an hour.
And hitters count too, and Ibanez a little late swinging on that 94-mile-an-hour pitch.
Popped up left side. Boone, long run. He can't get there.
Tough play. Even if Aaron Boone catches that ball, I think the runner at third could have tagged up and come on home anyway, because he's got his back to the play and he's not going to be able to catch up to it. Got to look over his shoulder. The wall's coming into play and just down the reach.
Strike 3 on a breaking ball. Check that. That was just a fastball with great movement, 95 miles an hour. So Ibanez down looking.
Inside part of the plate, you can see where Posada setting up. A nice frame job too by Posada. Ibanez leaning out over the plate. You can see where his hands are starting, and flips that heater inside.
Here's Mike Sweeney, who hit that double off Prinz on Monday night. That broke the game open. A blooper down the right field line DeLucci could not get to. Fastball's outside, and Prinz wanted that one, staring in at home plate umpire Jim Joyce. Also got a big hit tonight, a 2-run double to left center field against Jeff Weaver in the 5th inning. And that turned a 4-0 game into a 6-0 game. Now it's 7-0, bases loaded, 2 outs. And that's a blooper into center field, a base hit for Mike Sweeney. Lopez scores. Guile scores. Baroa goes to third. It's a 2-run single for Mike Sweeney. And the Royals are pulling away. They lead 9-0.
We talked about the RBIs that Mike Sweeney produces and has been producing for a long time here in Kansas City. Something that they have been missing, and they said when Sweeney came back after being gone for 45 days, it was like making a blockbuster trade for Kansas City.
Sweeney had the 2-run single in the 1st inning, so he really got to Weaver first. And the 2-run double that I was talking about in the 5th inning came off the bat of Brent Mayne, who was 4 for 4. So there are a lot of RBIs up and down this lineup, and Sweeney now has 4 of them. And Jeff Weaver's line is now complete. Baroa is Prinz's responsibility. And there's a strike to Joe Randa. So in 7, or check that, 6 1/3 innings pitched, Jeff Weaver gave up 9 runs. Count 1-2. Randa 0 for 3 with a sac bunt in the first. A lot of movement from Prinz, and the count 2-2.
Yeah, we all remember that pine tar incident when George Brett hit that home run off of Goose Gossage. I mean, you take a look at Joe Randa's bat. There's not a whole lot of hitting area there without some substance on it. Look how high that pine tar goes up on the bat.
Pitch is upstairs. I wonder, Bobby, if he hits it off the label, a ground ball, the ball's going to have a lot of pine tar on it. How's the infielder going to throw the ball?
Going to get some pine tar on the ball for sure.
3-2 pitch. Grounded to second base. Soriano. He will flip to first, and that will do it. But the Royals get 3 big runs on 4 hits. No errors, and 2 men left. We've played 7. It's 9-0 Royals.
It's worth watching twice, and you'll see it all on Yankees Encore. When the game is over, relive the great plays of 2003 Yankees baseball. Yankees Encore, tonight at 11:30, only on Yes.
Well, the line score tells it all. Kansas City 9 runs on 14 hits. The Yankees no runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. It has not been a pretty Wednesday night here in Kansas City for the New York Yankees. Let's take a look now at the Yankees in-game box score, which is sponsored by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. Not too many hits, just 4 for the Yankees. Derek Jeter, Matsui, Posada, and Aaron Boone. And all of those hits were singles. And the only other base runner, a walk by Alfonso Soriano. Kareem Garcia due up, but Ruben Sierra is going to pinch hit against Jeremy Alfeld. Garcia was 0 for 2 against Appier. So Sierra, switch hitter, will bat from the right side against the lefty Alfeld. There's a strike. Popped up. Right center field, Guile and D. Brown. Guile with the call, Guile with the catch. 1 away.
After his first inning that he pitched in this game, he went back in the dugout. And trainer Mark Schwartz immediately over there to take a look at that left hand. Possibly a blister, but I think they pay close attention to that. And you'll see Schwartz talking to him and looking at him and saying, now look, when I ask you a question, you got to tell me the truth on how it feels. If you feel like you're developing anything at all, let me know so that we can take care of it. Obviously something they're very concerned with, and you can see why. I mean, if they lose an arm like this for any extended time, that could hurt them. And it's almost like every time he pitches, something pops up, you know, on those 2 fingers of the finger that he, the middle finger, where he has the blister problem. And you know, when you're developing a blister, you know how red it gets. And also, there he is. He's talking about it. Mark Schwartz, the head trainer for KC, he's talking about that middle finger where he develops that blister.
And it's a tough problem. It's not like an arm injury, an elbow problem. It seems so simple, but it's certainly a problem for a pitcher. If you raise a blister on the end of your finger, can't pitch. Hey, Yankee fans, get all the latest Yankees news at YesNetwork.com. Log on tonight and check out the latest edition of Pep Talk from longtime Yankees beat writer and regular contributor Phil Pepe. As you can get the latest edition of the K Corner. For more scores, information, and to get Yes gear, log on to YesNetwork.com. Soriano goes down swinging, 2 away.
Well, what a tough decision to have to take this young man out of the starting rotation because of the oncurring problem. You can see how much they like him with that 95, 96 miles an hour the fastball and that hard, sharp breaking ball that he utilized.
He almost has stuff that you could actually picture him closing.
They have another young arm, a right-hander, Mike McDougall, who does the closing. He gets it up around 100 miles an hour.
Pitch to Jeter is a strike from Offeld.
And they're not sure how good he is. I mean, that's another question mark for Kansas City. I mean, they really don't have a closer that they can really count on. They don't know exactly how McDougall's going to fare in that particular role. But they do know that he throws it hard and he throws it often.
Tall, thin left-hander, kind of herky-jerky. And the ball explodes. Count 1-2. Jeter tonight is 1 for 3. One of the Yankees' 4 hits in this game. 3 of the hits against starter Kevin Appier, who went 6 innings. A leadoff single by Matsui against Offeld, but he's retired the next 5 in a row. 1-2. Breaking ball's low. Two pitch. Way outside. 3-2.
Being young and energetic, he's also known to being a kind of a free spirit, loves to have fun. Well, he's in the right spot. This is a free-spirited ball club, and at this point of the year, they're having a whole lot of fun. And there's the spirit leader over there.
Missed upstairs, so Jeter works a walk. Crowd wanted a strikeout. And now that brings up Giambi against a tough lefty.
Giambi is in jeopardy of maybe breaking that 35 consecutive game streak here at Kaufman Stadium for getting a hit.
Swing and a miss.
Did you tell me those puka beads was given to Jason by his niece? For good luck.
Got some hits yesterday with them, but no luck tonight. Curtis Leskanic is warming for the Royals in their bullpen. Right-hander they got from the Brewers. The 0-2. Driven out to left center field. Giving chase is Guile on the run. He's there and he puts it away for the final out of the inning. Pretty impressive 2 innings for Jeremy Offeld. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 9-0 Royals. The New York Yankees, the world's most successful sports franchise, are celebrating their historic 100th anniversary in 2003. On Monday, August 25th, the first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees notebook, courtesy of the 2003 MTV Video Music Awards. Come out to Yankee Stadium and join in the celebration of 100 years of greatness. Hey, come out to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, August 24th as the Yankees face the Orioles. The first 18,000 fans 14 and under are going to receive a Yankees t-shirt courtesy of HIP Health Plans. For tickets, visit the stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops, call Ticketmaster at 212-307-1212 or log on to Yankees.com. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Brett Prinz still in there for the Yankees. And he will start it off by facing D. Brown. It'll be 7, 8, 9 in the Royals order as Ruben Sierra takes over in right field. He had pinch hit for Kareem Garcia. And the pitch to D. Brown is outside. D's had a good night. 2 for 3, a sac fly, a stolen base, and a run scored. Kid from the Bronx doing it against the Bronx Bombers.
Making mom proud.
They announced the crowd here at the Big K, 35,596. A little strange because it seems like a bigger crowd than last night. Last night was close to 38. But maybe there were some freebies tonight. And the total for the series, 113,822. This year, the Royals are averaging 4,000 to 5,000 more per game than all of last year. And yesterday's crowd actually put them past last year's total. So everything after that is absolute gravy compared to last season. Count 3-1. Foul back.
I can't imagine the Royal fans not already purchasing tickets for the last few games here at Kaufman Stadium, because the last 4 games the Kansas City Royals play, the last of the season here at Kaufman Stadium, is against the Chicago White Sox, and that could decide who wins the Central Division.
Brown swings and misses, 1 away. Well, here's a stat, Bobby, that should really buoy the fans of the Royals, and you'll see the spinal strike to D. Brown. Some life on it from Prinz. Counting this game, their final 44 games, they have a record against those opponents of 39-20. Not too bad. This is a team that's only 8 games over 500, and they're 19 games over against their coming opponents. There's a ground ball up the middle by Harvey. Jeter fields and fires to first, 2 away.
And the remainder of the season, as a lot of teams start looking at their schedule and who they have left to play, as we featured who's playing now. You know, the Red Sox and who they're playing, the Yankees and who they're playing. But they have a lot of games between the Tigers and the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago White Sox. So if you want to look who's soft in their schedule or who's got a more difficult schedule, it looks to be more soft for Kansas City at this moment.
I'll tell you what, Bobby, they have their destiny in their own hands. Brent Mayne 4 for 4, and looking for a very unlikely 5 for 5 right here. 2 doubles, 2 singles, 2 ribbies, 2 runs scored.
And 2 catchers on Kansas City, along with DeFelice. Brent Mayne had been here for quite some time, and in fact he was the Royals' #1 pick back in '89. Played his college ball at Cal State Fullerton.
Well, DeFelice had a big role in the Monday win. He had 3 doubles.
Mayne also played some time with the New York Mets and also the A's.
Pitch is outside, so the count 3-1.
A manager who has a young pitching staff, if you ask them, the first thing that they would want, if they know they've got a young pitching staff, is a veteran catcher. Somebody that can call that game and run the game for the young arms.
Hey, you've waited around this long. You have to stick around after the last out for the Nissan postgame, and that's with Fred Hickman and Susan Waldman, featuring detailed analysis of tonight's game, interviews with players, plus scores and highlights from around the league. It's the Nissan postgame. It's a must-watch immediately following the game, right here on Yes. Mendy Lopez hits one deep to left. Looking up is Matsui. It's gone. See ya. A 2-run home run for Lopez. And the carnage continues. The Royals lead the Yankees 11-0.
Being a good bunter, which he showed earlier in this game as sacrificing the runner to third base, but he's got some power. And he plays a lot of positions, so he's another versatile player for Tony Pena.
His first home run of the year. And the pitch to Guile is inside. Thanking all the right people. Hot shot through the right side for a base hit for Aaron Guile, his third base hit of the night. That's Lopez's first home run since July 9th of 2001. So he doesn't hit many out, and it just cleared the fence in front of the Yankee bullpen. Prinz supplied a lot of power. Pitch to Baroa is low. The 1-0. Broken bat, looper to Jeter. He'll put it away for the final out of the inning. But for the Royals, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left. A 2-run home run by Mendy Lopez. Last licks for the Yankees. They have a long way to go. Royals lead 11-0. Well, we go to the 9th inning here at Kaufman Stadium. And Curtis Leskanik, the third pitcher used by Tony Pena, will try to close out the Yankees. Now, we told you at the beginning of the game with Weaver that sometimes it looks as if the Yankees play the game as if they don't like Weaver. Well, the last 4 times the Yankees have been shut out in a game, Weaver was the pitcher. Although Weaver did not pitch very well tonight. He didn't pitch awful. He was victimized by a couple of bad calls, a couple of bleeders, but bottom line, they scored a lot of runs, 9 runs off of him. You see the numbers on Leskanik between the Brewers and the Royals, very good numbers. A good pickup for them to solidify their bullpen. The 1-0 to Bernie is upstairs.
Leskanik on the disabled list last year with some shoulder problems. He's had some problems with a torn labrum and a rotator cuff, but no surgery, just rehab work. Many thought that his career was going to be over with, and he has battled back and pitching well for the Kansas City Royals, as everybody is doing something to help this Royal ball club.
And Bernie works a walk. Time now to take a look at the play of the game, brought to you by Continental Airlines, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Continental Airlines, work hard and fly right.
And it's Mike Sweeney, and it came in the bottom of the first inning. A single that plated 2 runs in that inning. Kansas City went on to score 3 as they led the Yankees 3-0. So the captain is back, and they are glad.
Here's Matsui. And Leskanik's inside, 1-0. Matsui tonight is 1 for 3. That one a single in the 7th off Jeremy Offeld. There's a strike. There's a strike. Along with Bobby Murcer, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball here on the Yes Network. We thank you for joining us. You joined us late if you just got in. Top of the 9th inning, and the Royals are beating the Yankees 11-0, trying to win a series here in Kansas City against New York for the first time since September of 1993. It's been all Royals today. Jeff Weaver started for the Yankees, and he lasted into the 7th inning, 1 out into the 7th inning, and allowed 9 runs. On the other side of the scorecard, Kevin Appier started for the Royals, 6 shutout innings. Jeremy Offeld, 2 shutout innings, and now they've turned it over to Curtis Leskanik. And the 2-2. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, said Laz Diaz. So Matsui down on strikes. Now he checked that swing way more than Raul Ibanez checked the swing in the first inning.
Sometimes you see them differently.
Here's Jorge Posada, 1 for 3. And the pitch from Leskanic is a strike.
Before Leskanic was scored on between Milwaukee and then when he came over to Kansas City, he had thrown 17 scoreless innings. And then finally someone scored off of him to break that streak. But he's also a guy that can get it up around the mid-90s. Got a good hard breaking ball.
The 0-2 upstairs. If the Royals do not allow a run here in the 9th inning, this will be the biggest Yankee defeat of the year. Last season, their biggest defeat, also by 11 runs. They lost to the White Sox 13-2 on September 13th. 1-2. Just got a piece to stay alive.
Talked about that hard breaking ball. Posada fighting that off to stay alive.
And the 1-2. It gets away from Mayne, and that allows Bernie to jog to second. So that is a wild pitch.
That pitch there almost maimed Mayne. Watch him try to fight it off. Hits the part of the plate and gives a weird bounce, and I think it even caught part of that bare hand on the right side.
When you ever see an umpire dusting off home plate, usually he's doing that so the catcher has some time to recover from one of the many times he's been hit during the game. And you could see that Jim Joyce only stopped dusting when Mayne said he was okay. The 2-2. Grounded to first. Harvey is there. He flips to Leskanic. 2 away as Bernie Williams moves to third.
First time the Yankees had a chance to see Kansas City this year. They knew that they were winning a lot of ball games and playing some inspired baseball, and they are getting a first-hand look at why Kansas City now is leading that Central Division.
Pitch to Nick Johnson, swung on a miss. Yankees get another shot at them next week at Yankee Stadium, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The 0-1. Strike. Yankees have the best road record coming into this series, and they're on the verge of losing 2 out of 3 to the first-place Royals. The 0-2, a little bit low. They had the best road record coming into this game at 38-22. And on the road, they averaged 6.1 runs per game. Not tonight. Well under average. The 1-2 pitch is lined out to Randa, and that will do it. The ball game is over, and the Royals shut out the Yankees 11-0. And this is the worst loss deficit-wise that the Yankees have suffered all year. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. The Kansas City Royals have won their first series at home against the Yankees since September of 1993, taking 2 out of 3. Keep it right here on Yes, because when we come back, we'll wrap it up and we'll break it down, tell you everything that went on and how the Royals beat the Yankees 11-0 right here on the Yes Network.